Hey y'all, Sway. I was just winding down, but it came up to do this little video, this sharing, clearing, healing for self-doubt. And self-doubt is really all you're ever working with, forgiving, with clearing, doing away with. This is experientially verifiable, and it's also stated in A Course in Miracles. So we'll just get started. I had to go put my rings back on for effect. If I get to flowing, a little clicky. Got the silver on the middle finger. Don't worry about that. That was. I came across something pertaining to that after I'd started wearing that on that finger. But anyhow, so we'll get going. Just take a breath. Always the breath is one of those things. If you find yourself constricted, usually it's correlating as well. Not causal. Correlation and causality are not the same. So there is a correlative seeming relationship to the breath. If you're restricted, if you're feeling dense, there's usually something happening with the breath, with it being either held or the flow, tempo of it. And just simply through bringing that awareness to that and flowing with that, you can usually see and allow some relief and correlation to flow. And again, it's not causal, so it's not like just using the breath to try to. Now that's good if you're incorporating that with whatever's arising and not trying to escape or make real whatever seems to be correlative with it. You can do a lot with the breath, but if you're using it as some form of magic to try and coming from a level confusion of cause and effect, it's not going to cut it. So be clear on that. That's an important distinction, very important. So, all right. Ate ashe ate neate aketea ete hea neashe ate hea ete ashe ate ake ashe nete neteae neteae ashe atea neaketea yahe neketea yashaya tohoya yatea tohoya yatea shayate yaketea kash Yakateaye, heya, eshiate, aneate, akatea, yetea, neashiate, heya, katea, yetea, yetea, shiate, yetea, nekatea, gea, yakatea, shiate, katea, neashiate, Ekatea yatea neshiate aniete aea utiae yatea eshiae yatea aye neashiate yatea ekatea shiate neatea Nakatea shayate neashe ate katea A lot of times this can come back to lower energy centers. That's where the heavy egoic identification is. And so anytime there's that constriction or kind of pinging off those centers, you can just be aware of that, allow that, bring the breath in, hold that. You don't need to do anything with it. Don't try to, get out of it or escape it. If it's not there, you don't need to worry about that either. So, eteaye, ashiateea, ea, 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 tea, eneatea, ea, 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 ea. So when I'm doing this, as always, I can't focus on the breathing and the breath, but if you're listening, you can, and so it might be helpful to just focus with that flow. Eteaye, neate, neateaye, eshe, eaketea, eketea, neateaye, nesheate aneye, nesheate aneye, nesheate aneye, ahe, eahe, heahe, heahe, neasheate, eayate, eayate, hea. Nesheate, heketea, yenayate, heteate, hea, hea, neha, neha, neayete, huayete, 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 shagetea, heketea, neate, uteane, oshiite, oya, oya, shiate, hea. So you may feel certain things pinging and pulling and clearing from different centers. Coming into the solar plexus, and again, when I say lower energy centers, typically I mean from the heart and below. The solar plexus, the sacral, and the root mostly are going to have this heavy layer of identification and fear associated with it, and they tend to correlate and have ties into the throat chakra as well, because it has to do with our expression in that. So it's not like these things are just intrinsically gridlocked to these specific locations. There's all kinds of very intricate ties all in between, and the whole is the whole. So you don't really need to focus on that at all. I have not spent a great amount of time in energy center work in a specific way. It's just the awareness of that when stuff surfaces, when it's coming up, where it seems to be. So you can deal with that alone, and it arises always intelligently as it's supposed to, when it's supposed to. Nothing happens by accident. There are no accidents, but there are surprises. One of my favorite quotes. You cannot deny that in the world of form. Well, you might try to deny the accident part, but regardless, if you try to deny it, there will still be surprises. Shiate, 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 neatea, netea, netea, ea, 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 hoteate, yatea, shiate, yae, aketea, heketea, yetea, etea, 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 nea, sheate, ute, hoketea, etiete, atieti, utieti, neatea, e. So water's being brought to mind in the form, all forms. I myself, I like to take Epsom salt baths. I do that quite frequently, very purifying. Very good for the skin too, and the hair, like that. But also, I'm not one to, I don't get big in the hydration and go over crazy with that. But that is something can have an effect. the body is said to be however much percent water, and water, this also ties into these sounds. Okay, I want to come back to that. It's very important. These sounds, and this is recorded in different studies where, and the most simplest one is where they record like the snowflakes and then the water molecules when they're expressed to loving things or negative things, and just cells and DNA as well, but they've done this with water, and the vibration, the loving vibrations and tonalities create a more beautified structure of the kind of crystalline, I don't know the terminology, the molecular structure and the way that it sets up in its template and presentation is more beautified and symmetrical in its presentation when it's in that loving, those higher frequency vibrations, opposed to the lower negative, more hate and fearful based tones, frequencies, that it tends to have a more confused, distorted formation. And so these tones can actually, they allow, so there is something to the specific tones and sounds that come through during this, because they allow for that restructuring. Again, the body being however much percent water, it allows for that to restructure in that more beautified, elevated pattern in that way. So, yeah. Neate asheate eketeane ashe 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 eatea eteae asheate eketea neshe 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 eatea eketeane ashe ete uteane oshe ate uteae eketeane ashe ete utea. Hey hey, hey nea te ae, eshea te ane, ekatea e te uta e a ite hui e te, eshea te ute he a he, he a he, he a he, he a he, he a he a he. Alright, so. And I wish I could give you more with the hands and what's going on there. There's a energetic here. I can feel the energetics with the hands, the correlations and the pullings and the flowings and the pingings off the different energy centers. So that tends to be what's flowing with that. It's allowing for, the clearing and the moving around of stagnation of energy. This is, very commonly understood in a lot of Eastern understandings and practices with chi and whatnot. So they do a lot of different movements and stuff, and there are certain symbols and things that are done, but I don't have a specific understanding of what certain ones mean. I actually saw something the other day that was I do this a lot, and it was trying to relate this to like something negative, because I guess the conspiracy stuff, they'll do this and stuff. So it was relating that to like, oh, that's the 666, and that's part of the negative, stuff. And that's definitely not the flow here. Not the vibe. It does not correlate to that. Yeah, that just needed to be said. Clear that up. Kind of laughed at that. There's a lot of distortion though, so a lot of things do get used. So it's not like anything's off the table. You got the left hand path, as they say, and the right hand path, the middle way. It's not like those that take the left hand path don't use the wisdom and the knowledge of what's out there, and the way it's been on this planet is they have actually more, have had more of the knowledge, the higher knowledge and understandings, and certain ways than the light has seemed to have. They occulted that knowledge and kept it, to themselves in a certain way. So it goes to reason that they would be the ones having and expressing these things. So that makes sense in that way. So a lot of clarity that thank you for allowing me to speak on that. That was coming up. So I just wanted to share that. It was coming up. You can sit and take a couple breaths. If you feel called, you can repeat that. And again, just that self-doubt is all we're ever working with, that fear, that kind of gridlocked expression that's inauthentic, the habitual flow of the small self that has been kind of led unconsciously into energetic ruts and is fearful of expression outside of that. So this is one of the ways I myself and this type of work have really been able to step out of my comfort zone, so to speak, and step into, even though I may not have the full you could say understanding in a sense that the limited self would like to have, like what do all these words mean? What do all these sounds mean? What is this? What are all these hand signals? I like I said, I cannot give specifics on that. It's energetic. I can feel it on that level. It cannot be explained to the way the mind would want or like to have it interpreted. Maybe that will come, maybe it won't, I don't know. As of right now, I don't care, but this has been a great way to step out of that self-doubt and into trust and into an organic flow of healing and being and sharing as well. So that's really what it's about here, and being able to share in that and allow anyone to step out of that with me as well, because we are on this journey together and we're not separate. We are all together, even if we wish we would not like to be, or we try to attempt to go our own way. It's not that way. We're all walking home together in the beauty, in the joy, or if you perceive the chaos, I certainly do at times. It is what it is, but it's all perfect. All perfect. There are no accidents. There are surprises. Let's let them be good surprises. Let's love them. So thank y'all. Love y'all. Peace and love. Bye.